welcome to the Life Happens podcast. I am your host, Grace. And before we get into the topic of potential versus reality, would you date somebody based on their potential, or would you date them or marry them rather based on where they are today? But before we get into the topic, I want to introduce my co-host. We have the beautiful Deborah Drake. Hey, girl.
Hello.
And then we have Felicia Love Washington, the vlogger. Okay. Hey, girl. Can you hear us? I don't think she can hear us. Will, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. Log out and go back in, Felicia. Okay. Kim, can you send Felicia a chat, please? On the private chat?
Yes.
Or text.
Can you go ahead and tell who
Honey,
our other guest is?
yes, we're about to do that.
All
And
right.
then we have we have a guest that's part of the BS3 network. His name is Will. Will, can you tell us about yourself and your show?
Oh man, yeah. My name is Will Otero. I go by the name of Wise El Jefe. I am the host of Stuck in My Mind podcast, and me and my nephew Poppy J, we do a show Friday nights at 10 p.m. Central on the BS3 network. Is Poppy J and Wise El Jefe.
Okay, awesome. And what did you say? What times you come on?
Oh well, Stuck in My Mind comes on every day at 5. Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time, 4 p.m. Central, and then Poppy J and Wise El Jefe come on Friday nights at 10 p.m. Central time.
Okay. Can you guess now, Felicia?
Yes, now I can hear. But I could not hear earlier at all.
I know. Remember the last time we came on and we could hear nothing.
Yeah.
We had to
I
check
hear
out everything.
Okay.
So,
But
guys,
that's part of the show, though, right? Technical difficulties
Yes.
happen.
Exactly.
but y'all don't understand because I'm behind the scenes trying to do everything, and the
Oh, I understand. I'm the editor, producer, / host. I know. I do all of that, so I know.
I achieve this.
Yeah.
I just be like, oh my God, can it just go perfect? But we just roll with it though.
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. So, guys, I came across this video on TikTok, and I shared it with the ladies about a lady talking about potential. Like she will never date a guy for potential, like ever. So, Kim, let me ask you this. Let's spend a few minutes on talking about our partners. Well, I don't have a partner, but
Mhm.
when you met your husband, what was it based on? Like when you said yes to him?
Um. So for me and William, William was not the same person that he is now. Of course, nobody stays the same. We all grow at different stages of life. And so he didn't have, like, I know the woman in the video was talking about potential, but William just didn't have it at that time. Looking at him back then, I'm like, man, you went for that. You know what I'm saying? You fell in love with that, because he didn't have a lot of things going for him
Right.
because he was just moving here from another state and he was just, getting his feet wet and trying to find a job and getting a job and taking care of his son. So William had a lot of stuff going on. So he wasn't like really thriving, as they say. You know what I'm saying? Like he is now. So for me, I kind of like disagree with the potential part. So
See, says, what's cracking? You got to listen to these comment, girl. He says, Kim like them thugs. I want to read a statement before I ask you your Felicia. So when I did some research, it says dating potential generally means you fall in love with the person they could be, not who they are. You fall in love with the self-development and success you see in the horizon for them. Things that should come true as soon as they realize their full potential. Can you be in love with someone's potential?
yes.
Ooh. But it's tricky though, and I'll say my own thing afterwards. Okay, what about you, Felicia?
My husband has always been the same from beginning up until now. He's very focused, and when he gets his mind made up on doing something, he does it. So I would say when we first got married, he is nowhere near what he is now. But
Right.
when I say potential, I mean that my husband at the time had lost his mother, and had gotten, had to leave school, but he found a way to get back in school when he moved back to Dallas and start, trying to finish school then.
Yeah.
So when I say potential, I mean that he had the kind of potential that he was working on. He wasn't just saying, I want to, be in telecommunications. He was doing it. Like, he wasn't just saying it, he was doing it. He had action behind it. And I think that was important to me,
Right.
because it was potential, but it wasn't like you saying, I want to be a doctor, but you're not even in medical school. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when I say potential, it has to be the kind of potential that is a working potential.
He wasn't a Jody, is what you're trying to say.
Right. Right.
He wasn't sitting on the couch eating bonbons and
No.
his
No.
scrotum,
Definitely not.
and then you're like, oh, but one day he will. No, you need to see traction and movement.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying.
I think so. I think you do. I mean, William was always a hustler, always out there, working it. So
Making money.
he's the same
Yeah, my
way.
husband went to school full time, had a full time job, and by the time we got married, I was pregnant with my daughter, and he was taking care of his whole family and going to school full time. So,
What about you, Will?
Oh man, I'm lucky. I'm blessed to have a wife that married me on potential.
Right?
But no, my wife, she's very supportive. When she saw me really getting into podcasting and doing the stuff that I'm doing, she could have easily been like, "You dude, you're 40 something years old and you want to what? You want to do a podcast?
Right.
But she saw that I was passionate about it and that I was serious about it, and that it was opening up different opportunities for myself. And she saw she took me away from spending hours video gaming to actually doing something creative and something passionate and creating positive content. And she saw that and she was like, okay, so she helped me start my LLC. She encouraged me to take courses, to encourage me to do different things to help me build myself up, take whatever courses that I needed for editing, whatever courses I need for videos.
Yeah.
She encouraged me to improve myself because she saw that I was passionate about it, that I loved doing it. She saw that I was pretty good at it, and she was like, all right, yeah, here you go.
Right.
You have my support.
That's good. It sounds like you got a winner right there.
Oh no, she's a very smart businesswoman. Very smart.
I think sometimes you have to take a person that has potential and you have to have someone that comes alongside them and help guide them. Do you know what I'm saying? Help them, support them, love them through it. You know what I'm saying? And say, hey, what about this? Or what about that? Or how about you try this? Hey, why don't you start your own company? And they need that other person to walk out life with them.
Yeah. So I'm going to read some comments before we continue. April Shower says, hi, everyone. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
So Marshall says, being in love with potential is like building a house on quicksand because potential. What do you guys think about that?
And again, it goes back to a potential attraction.
Hi.
Are you dating somebody that says, oh, I would like to be a doctor one day, but they're home on the couch?
Then I could understand if oh yeah, I want to be a doctor, but he's, like she said, he's sitting on the couch, not making an effort trying to do what he's supposed to do. Like, you're not going to become a doctor sitting on the couch.
Right. Stuff. Yeah. No. And then we have Keisha. Hi, Keisha.
Hi, Keisha.
Thank you.
Okay, I have another comment from Marshall. What happens if the person does not meet your definition of potential? I guess the definition of potential for everyone is different. So I would think it's a case by case.
Right.
Facebook
but then I don't think there's anything wrong with women who don't want to settle. You know? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If you have a standard or you have something that you want specifically and you're like, hey, I'm not moving from this of what I want. You know what I'm saying? Right. And so I don't see anything wrong with that.
Right. And again, a lot of times people make these comments based upon their life experiences. Like, I'm going to play the video shortly after I read these comments. But I understand both the videos' perspective,
Yeah.
even though there's parts of it that I agree with and other parts I don't agree with. And I'm sure we've all feel the same way. Okay, so let me read some of these comments. Willie Atkins says, "Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen." Hi, Mr. Willie.
Hi, Mr. Willie.
Their potential, an ounce of potential is worth a pound of. I don't. Girl, she's starting early, huh? Willie says, "I'm jealous because I'm not on the show." Oh, maybe next time. Uh, okay, so hey, there's so much to be said. So anyway, I'm gonna play both the videos and then we're gonna I guess comment them. Are you guys ready?
Mhm.
I don't care about a man's potential at all. I don't. I care about his productivity, because now you wake up with the man in his boxers on your couch in your refrigerator scratching his balls, talking about when his dinner ready, and he don't even know how much your rent is.
Right.
There's no way. I don't play sleepovers. I don't play house. I don't do none of that. That's not my shit. I don't play those type of games. There's no way a man is sleeping up comfortably or even coming over talking about something. I want to chill. My house is not an entertainment system, baby. That's not what we doing. You want to take me out, court me properly, date me properly, and I'm not a virgin. Let me tell you, it's harder to get my pussy now than it was then. You should have hit it then when I was open and I was naive and I was ready for everything. And I didn't know my worth. But now here I am, and I'm a girl with depth, with substance, with coof. There's no way I'm even allowing a man to even know where I live at until he done proved himself. You don't even get the address. You don't even get the address. And this is what I be talking about. Women take things so lightly and men don't. So let's just go back to the narrative saying like a man wants you all in, and he wants you all in, and he's not all in because he's waiting for you to prove yourself. Because women give it up too easy.
Hey girl, so I saw something recently circulating on social media, and a girl was saying that you should never date a man based on potential. She's like, if you're not happy with who he is today and he never changes, then don't date him at all. And I completely disagree. You should always date a man based on his potential. Why? Because if you get with a dude who is already successful, already rich, already paid, you're going to constantly be trying to figure out, okay, how do I, stay in good graces with him and not lose anything? And he's constantly going to be thinking like, man, is she really down for me just because of who I am, or is she kind of down with the lifestyle I'm able to provide for her? But the difference is when you date somebody based on their potential, you have the ability to build an empire with them, and when you build it together, you can never lose it.
Who would like to start?
I like that first chick. I love it. I love it. I love the part where she's like, I know who I am. I know my value. I know my worth.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't come at me sideways, which is, man, I love that. I love that.
And I liked her too, right? But wouldn't you say that it seems like she's been through some stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Because she's speaking with such conviction. Like she probably went through stuff a lot. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah.
And she's like, I am not going down the street again.
Right.
You need to stop correct. I'm not helping him do nothing. He can't even have my address. You ain't laying up in my house, sitting on the couch, eating bonbons and scratching your balls. That's what she said, okay?
Yeah.
But that goes back to the caliber of man you'll even let approach you. There are some men I can meet, like I'm not trying to meet anybody, but I can clearly see at the gas station, I would never give this man my number. I would never talk to this guy just because I can see, I don't know if it's discernment or what, that he's not talking about nothing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to waste my time. And everybody doesn't have that discernment. Sometimes we're so desperate to have a man that those are the type of men she's talking about. We desperate to have any old kind of man just to say we got a man. And then he ends up being this guy that does nothing with his life or wants nothing with his life, but we still got a man, and you hear this saying, they used to say it a long time ago. I don't know if they still saying, but a piece of man is better than no man, and they start making all these excuses for these men. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's the quality of what you're picking.
You're right though. And I agree with some of the things she's saying. I got to read this comment though.
Okay.
100 Black says, yeah, but she would have an attitude upon a man saying hello to her. That's the energy she's giving off.
She
That's
probably would. But remember what she said at the beginning. She says, I'm no longer going to be naive. I'm not that naive girl anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Felicia. Look at this comment. Keisha said, Felicia, you best not be giving out your number considering. What would your husband think, sis? She's just teasing.
No, I wouldn't give out my number.
And she
But
said,
I can just see, like, you know, I mean, I know you've all witnessed it where a man comes up to a woman, you know, with some played out line. Hey, pretty lady,
that's
you
how
running through my mind. I mean, come on, man. Really? Really? Am I really going to get this guy my number? Like, are we serious here? So, like, and some of the things that some of these guys come up with, it's like, okay.
Grand Rising Queen. That gets me every time.
Yeah. So it's no. Yeah, it's a no for me.
Felicia says, not Felicia, Keisha says, oh, girl is telling the truth. She needs to know the word is not cool, it's cool. She has an accent now.
Yeah.
I think she got an accent. You know.
Got a little twang too.
Like, girl, leave that woman alone. Mr. Willie says, I raised 2 beautiful girls for 18 years and I never complained about a slow woman that I was dating. I just took care of my priorities and ignored everything else that wasn't right. Now you have to have a voice, Mr. Willie. You don't put up with no one's mess, even as a man. You got to sit down sometimes because women will take advantage of you. They will bleed you dry if you allow them to.
They will.
Many of us out here that are looking for someone to take care of us. Like this woman said, oh, if he doesn't know your rent. I don't want a man to know my rent because if you pay my rent, that means you think that I'm supposed to give you something.
Thank you.
No, you're not. I don't. And that's the thing. That is a trap. But that's another story. Hi, Ben. Okay, so I want to know what you think, Will.
All right, so homegirl made a lot of valid points and everything, but it's again the men she's been dating. Not all men are that way.
Right.
It's you want a man that's want to build with you. Like me and my wife, we know we want to build together. We know we have plans. We know what we want to do. I'm saying so. I'd rather have someone that I'm building with than someone that's already established. Because then if I don't come in with anything and they already have something and we start building, they're already saying, oh, but I already had this. I was already ahead of the game. Whereas if we're building together, so we both start from scratch, build this together, it's ours. It actually, as far as I can only speak for me and my wife, so I know what we do, what it means to us to be able to work together and build something together because we know where we're coming from. We know what we wanted. We've had that discussion. That's something one of y'all pointed out is having these discussions. This is something that we need to discuss. What is our plan? If we're going to get together, what are we doing? What is our 1-year goal, 5-year plan, 10-year plan, whatever it is? These are discussions that need to be had.
Agreed. But also something you said that I need to add to that. You said that as a man, I'm paraphrasing you. As a man, you'd rather get with somebody that has potential versus established. Because the truth of the matter is, somebody will say something eventually. Oh, well, he doesn't have this and she has that.
Right.
Or even if she doesn't say it, her family will. And I can tell you the truth of the matter is,
Yes.
as an African woman, I will bring home to my brother and my mother a person that has potential. Established. Because they will have a problem with it. They don't want to know what you could be. I'm just saying, like in our culture, it's like that. So for me to bring somebody around my family, like I would be very leery. Now, not to say that they have like the be all end all answer of everything. Don't get me wrong, but I already know how that head is wired. They do not play no games. So I understand completely what you're saying, Will. Keisha says, Felicia, you've been out of the game too long. They don't say that anymore. They ask, who you stay with now? Oh, dirty bastards. Now, I didn't cut you said that, right? Just to make that clear, okay?
Well, talking about from an older woman's point of view, I don't think older women have time for guys with potential. So I think when you're a seasoned person of age and maybe you've been married, divorced, or you're just getting on in years, you just don't have that energy and time to help someone's potential along the way when you're at the end of your, you know what I'm saying? When you're in your 50s and your 60s.
I
I
get what
mean,
you.
you're looking for someone who's already established. You're looking for someone who's already, up there,
Right.
You're not
Right.
looking for someone who you have to coax through. Maybe you did that with your first husband when y'all were 19 and y'all were married and y'all were
Right.
doing it together. But
Right.
now it's like, okay, well, I've done that part. I don't want to do that anymore.
Right.
I know one of my friends she's been divorced for like 4 years now. And her and her husband, when they got married, they started a business together. And I mean, they just had kids together. And then it ended 17 years later in divorce. But now she's talking about remarrying. And she's like, oh no, I would never date anybody who's starting a business. Like,
Right.
I could not go through that again. You know what I'm
Right.
No,
saying?
I understand that. You reach a certain age and like, I'm not doing this again. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not. So
Right.
let's see some comments. 100 Black says, I still use the old Mac swag. Would appreciate it, believe me. Mr. Will says, life is too short to be worrying about building a relationship with a woman with high expectations. You give them their all and then you give them nothing but complaining. That's not the right woman then. You
Yeah.
know, everybody has their tribe. Everybody has their person.
Yeah.
That's not your person. Especially if she's keeps on complaining. Yeah, put her outside on the curb. Keisha says, tell her, Kim, bump potential. If you ain't got it, don't talk to me, buddy. Uh, as at the age that I am right now and where I'm in my life, yeah, I can't do it. Like I
Yeah.
talk to a younger man that's starting. And I might sound crazy. You might think, oh my God, can't do it. Cannot.
I 100% agree with you, Robbie. I think all this potential and all the talk of potential is based on age. At 22, the type of guy I dated at 22 would be a lot different guy than I would date at 30, that I would date at 40. So I think it's all age. Because, when you're 30, you're at that age where I'm trying to have kids. I'm trying to settle down. I'm not trying to build nothing. I'm trying to get into
Right.
auto mode. And when you're 50, like me, you're like, I ain't trying to have no babies. I ain't trying to hustle. I'm trying to wind down and figure out my retirement plan. What I got, I don't want to work forever, So
Right.
your mindset shifts with each age group, what you're wanting.
She's like, I retired my uterus. I'm not opening it back up. No, man.
So if you look at the girl who spoke earlier, she looks like she's, maybe in her 30s, maybe
Right.
a little bit older. So I think it's that age difference,
Mm-hmm.
Experience
Mm-hmm.
she looks like, and the reason why I could tell she speaks with so much conviction, I feel like she has experienced many Jodies, like she
Yeah.
knows, and she actually has coming to herself. So if
Yeah.
she seems like she's prickly, that's because she's dealt with a lot of stuff and she did not honor herself. You see, when you choose these type of men over and over again, you're not honoring yourself.
Right.
And it's important
Right.
as women, even men, but we're going to talk about women now, to honor yourself. And we don't do enough of that. We sit in our mouths, we don't give in our opinions. We're like, oh my God, like he's so fine, he's tall, bump fine. That's not going to pay bills, okay? That's not going to do the lifestyle that you want. Because think about it. Have you noticed that in the Bible, there's no talk about retirement? Have you noticed that? Think about it. Is there any verse that says retire?
Mm-mm.
So, the end of the day, when I think about potential, I think about building long term, not just to eat now, it's to eat later and
Exactly.
then a legacy and then for generations. Now, I have to read this comment because
Mm-hmm.
he says, I've been divorced for 17 years now because my ex wanted to start a record label with no artist. Boy, bye. I feel you. Now, let me tell you about, okay, let me read this. Marshall said you should base relationships on compatibility and not potential. Potential will hold a relationship together, would not hold a relationship together. Compatibility does.
But potential plays a good part. I have to disagree, Marshall. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I don't want you to lose your thought.
No, I agree to a point. I'm not all the way voting to their comments, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sorry, at the age that I am, and this sounds so bad, y'all, but like the other day I went to Wendy's, right? Okay. And there was a guy checking me out. I don't mean like looking at me, I mean cashing me out. Okay.
Okay.
he was fine because I could see his biceps and I was like, he's fine. But I would never. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. And I'm being honest, I would not entertain him. You can have my number.
You know, to your point, Rabia, I ate ramen noodles with my husband when we first got together. There's no way I'm going to eat ramen noodles with another man. It's just not going to happen. And it's not because I'm too good. I'm over that. It's just like, I've done that and I don't want to do that again. You know, I've been there where we've eaten ramen noodles and we've struggled and we've pieced money together. I've been there. I don't want to go back there. And I have focused my life in such a manner to where I don't have to do that. And why would I get with a man that takes me back there? You know, so yeah, potential. Yeah, you have to have some potential. And by potential, I mean work ethic. You can meet somebody that has no work ethic. They don't like to get up and go to work. They don't like keeping a job. Like they'll quit a job at the drop of a dime. I don't need this job. To me, that's part of looking at your potential. Like this person don't like to work.
And they don't hustle there.
Forget what they're trying to do. They don't want to go. They don't want to go to work. They don't want to start a business. And if you don't want to go to work, how you gonna start a business? Because running a business is a 24/7 job. That's not just 8 to 5. When you talk about I'm gonna run a business, I mean you have to be all in. You working late nights, because you're working for yourself. So I can't. When I think of potential, I also think of what type of work ethic does this person have?
Okay, I need to read this comment, girl.
Okay.
But you're right though. But somebody said on TikTok about free burgers though. No, I don't even eat burgers. I ain't gonna lie though, he was fine. And the first thing I thought, I said, he must have been in prison and this is his job. I mean, give me that's what I first thought. Cause I was like, and he had nice teeth too. But nah, not for me.
Love a man with nice teeth.
I don't care. Because if he had crooked teeth and he was somewhere else, he could fix that. But anyway, I met a fine ass dude at Wingstop. He was so sexy, but after listening to him talk, I see why. I saw he was like, them wings were fire though. I bet they were. Girl, I feel you. 100 Black says sexuality gets in the way every time. The woman and man have to agree on the effort or their aspirations. Sex shouldn't be involved so soon. If I were to get involved again, I'm on this mindset. Yeah, I agree. Oh yes, you're gonna eat some noodles.
And also, Felicia said it's not that I'm too good, and she said it's not that I'm over it. I just don't. I'm like, I was listening to her talking. I'm like, no, I'm too good, and I'm over it. So I am both those things. I am not going back there. No way, no how. No.
Well, the point is, I'm personally in my life, as far as working and providing, my husband being a provider, and I don't have to do that. I just can't even see all the hard work that we've done as a couple. Even like if my husband, and what a lot of women don't see, even if your husband is more successful as far as in a career, you're still part of that. You built that. Y'all are still, I mean, that's still part of what you've done, because in order for him to do that, you had to cook and clean. You had to take care of the kids. Right. For him to be able to run that business or do whatever it is. Yeah. So it is a partnership. It is a coming together. And so by potential law. Really does. Yeah. And legally. I mean,
okay, but that, you know, the lady in the first video, I think she's a BB, yo.
Okay.
She's a bitter Betty. I really believe that.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about the second video. She kind of irritated me.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you why. And I mean, she was so well put together, right? She was cute. She said, you should date a man but based on potential. She said, if you meet a man that's already established, he will leave you.
I can't believe that.
Okay, he won't leave you. First of all, he can leave you. Because there's some people that they may have been fat, they may have had crooked teeth, they get money, they level up, they look at you like, oh.
Thank you.
To me, that wasn't like a valid thing. I thought she was stuck up, to be quite honest. She came with her hat and all that. I mean, she was cute though. Let me not hate on her, but I guess she was old school to me in a sense. Did your guys get that?
Mm-hmm.
She did. She did.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see a problem with dating someone above your station, as they say.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. And I don't think just because you date someone above your station means that you have like this lopsided relationship where the other person's always looking at you going,
Right.
how about that?
And then
I
it's
for
like,
that.
how do you add value in the relationship? Because
Yeah.
sometimes adding value is not necessarily money. A lot of people,
Exactly.
a lot of people, it could be support, because
Yeah.
my husband and I, like, we've been married for so long, and he's had so many ventures, and I've had so many ventures, and we've supported each other on whatever we did. Like, he bought me my first camera for YouTube and social media. He was like, "That's what you want to do? Here's your camera. Here's your ring light." So he was very supportive in that. And he wanted to do a football team. And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's get the paperwork together. Let's do this. So you can get the teams together and you can run the league and you can do." So, I mean, it's about support. Do I know anything about football or whatever? No, but I handled the paperwork and I helped him get, started. I helped him with the uniforms and all that stuff. So I think it's not about who's on top, because one person's going to be on top when the other one is going down. It's never going to be 50-50, like they claim it to be.
No, it's never going to be that way. But let me say this. Could you read it? Go, do you see a compliment you got, girl? Do you see
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
It's giving me so much life tonight, ma'am. Okay, girl. Oh, and you don't see me and Kim. That's no compliments, Keisha. These establishment are crazy as hell. Yes. So get to know them before you drop your jaw. A broke me and then you want to slap him. Happened to a friend of mine recently.
Wow.
Wow.
Well, I have thoughts, but anyway, I think people should take their time, not rush. I mean, for me, but people move at different paces, and that's fine. It doesn't mean you're doing it wrong or you're doing it right. And I keep thinking about someone. Well, let me say this: someone on TikTok says you just need to find, or you just need someone who can grow with you. Period.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but see, this is the thing though. Like, if I'm the age that I am, 37 plus 10, and I meet a 30-year-old man, like, and you just starting your business, and please, for the love of God, do not tell me you have a record label. I'm so sorry. Producer, I can't do it.
You're not down with the record label, Rabia? Wow.
No, because I gotta introduce. Okay, like I said, if I introduce a man to my family, that's pretty serious. If I bring around my kids, that's pretty serious. I cannot say he's a producer. They will slap the crap out of me. I gotta hear from my brother. It's not gonna work. Now people say, "Oh well, you're a grown woman," blah blah blah. I'm also an African woman and love.
Wow.
And my brother told me, he said, "If you meet this amazing man, I'll pay for your wedding." So he ain't gonna pay for no wedding of you if you got no record label. Okay, so I need to read another comment. But okay. Willie says, a single 55, never been married. I always wanted to. I'm making $80 an hour for a very long time. These days, it doesn't matter what a man makes because a woman makes her own money. I'm not bragging, but I'm a good single man. And the right woman should have been taken advantage with the potentials I have. And I'm not bitter because I don't have what I really want out of life. But there's a lot of men, Mr. Willie, out here with having the same issues.
Mm-hmm.
I say issues because let's be honest, there are women out here that take advantage of men.
Yep.
Literally only go for men that's a certain profession. Now, y'all may accuse me of the same thing because I said I would not go out with dude from but I won't. And I'm okay with being judged for that. Like, I'm too old for that. But I'm saying I don't look at a man and say, "Oh, how much money does he make? Oh, can he pay my mortgage?" I don't want you to pay my mortgage. I don't want you to
exactly.
You are not going to buy me. Something that they told me a long time ago. I was I don't want to say too much. I knew this person, okay? And God showed me how he sets up traps. Like, he will help you with everything. But if you don't do what he wants you to do, he pulls out. Bye. That's the thing. If I'm with somebody, you can go tomorrow. I'm not going to be devastated because you're paying my bills, because I won't allow you to pay my bills. I don't need you to do my nails. I can do my own nails. I don't need that kind of stuff. If you want to do it, cool. But I'm not waiting every 2 weeks to get my hair and my nails done and with my hand out.
But you will accept it though.
I sure will.
Oh,
But
okay.
I'm not saying that I will accept it, but I don't need you to do it. Like I'm not dependent on you.
Right.
Yes.
But I think that comes to an equally yoked situation. I see a lot of guys, I'm in the 50 age range, a lot of my friends from high school who are single, and they will post up on Facebook, they got a new boo and blah, blah, blah. And the girl looks all of 19, 20. And you want to say, you a sugar daddy, right? She's not feeling you like that, and then they're devastated because I'm thinking of a particular person. Well, we're not together anymore. I guess we have to move on. Blah, blah, blah. You've always been this girl is 19, 20. You're nothing but a sugar daddy. You 50, 51. You're a sugar daddy. Yeah, and I think a lot of men, they don't go for women closer. I'm not saying she got to be your age, but closer to your age. Like if you're 50, she's at least 40 or 37. You're not getting women. You want to jump and go get a 20-year-old and you 52. Because you're like, she used me for my money.
Yeah. No, of course she's using it for your money. Right. Hello.
Right.
Okay, first of all, well, men can have babies till they're really old because they have seed that works, right?
Right.
But I think sometimes men will date women that young for control purposes. A lot of them that are for control purposes and for sex. Let's be honest. Mm-hmm. They want somebody, and nowadays, okay, God forgive me, but I'm gonna just be honest. Nowadays, you would think that the younger girls have less miles on them, right? That's not the case. Not the way that people view sex. So young girls, and you will be you like, girl.
Honestly, my friend who is 55, he'll be 56. He said he does not date women his age because they do not keep up with their health. He said he does not. He dates 30-year-old women. He is 56 years old because 30-year-old women are keeping up with their bodies. 40-year-old women he meet do not. 50-year-old women, they just don't care. So he goes for younger women.
Okay.
And is he married? And has he found the one?
No.
He has not. And you know what's going to happen? And I hate to say this, but let me tell you what I've noticed this trend on. There are women that are getting married later on in life, right?
Right.
Building their career. Okay, please read their comments.
Yes. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Your older men need to get with someone that knows the sign of a stroke. Them young women gonna take all your money. But okay, so this is what I've seen the trend. So the men that are marrying the young woman, they're getting older, right?
Right.
The older women have worked in their careers and they set up in their careers. Now they're ready to get married, right?
Uh-huh.
So they meet these men, and these men are not telling the woman that they have sicknesses and illness. These men, girl, I know a woman, her husband didn't tell her that he was diabetic. He didn't tell her all these things. He's sitting on the toilet, has a stroke. Now, guess who's taking care of him?
She is.
Married, older. While she was older, she felt she was ready. Now he has a stroke. He was hoeing all in his youth, okay? Someone to be a caregiver. That's ridiculous. But that's what's going on. And she is so resentful and she is pissed off.
Right.
And totally so. Like you hoard all your life and now you want to sit down when you're sick.
Yep.
And you know what I noticed?
Do you think it's cool that if you're in a relationship with someone, you both should get the 23andMe so you know what illnesses are in your family?
Because I feel like even before you really move on intimately, you both should be tested. So why if you're gonna do that, why wouldn't you do that?
What is I'm confused. What's a 23andMe?
It gives you the breakdown of what diseases are in your family, in your line, what you are more susceptible. I'm not probably saying that wrong. Anyway, too,
Susceptible.
That's it.
Okay, some comments.
Okay.
Mr. Willie says, no, ma'am. My daughter is 29 and the other one is 28. I would never date a young woman as my daughter. She most definitely would have to be around my age. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, true story. I know a man that's 58 got a 27-year-old girl pregnant.
Well, we know what he was looking for, and his seed was working.
Oh, wow.
Keisha says, in my opinion, any man over 50 that's never been married or has any kids needs to start looking at themselves. You have a problem. I'm joking.
Wow.
Woo, child.
Wow.
Willie says, I would never date a young woman as my daughters. You know what? Hey, there's a lot of them out here. I don't want to marry no hospital bill. If that, I like them young because they got a strong back. Wow. Keisha.
Keisha, great.
Oh, my God.
Keisha
Okay.
is crazy.
Keisha.
Wow.
I understand what you're saying, Keisha, because
Right.
listen, there's a lot of men.
What you gonna do when they get sick? You gonna leave them? No.
No, you're
For
not
better
gonna
or for worse, right?
the thing of it is like my friend, she's taking care of dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry, I'll be pissed off too. You better tell me what's your diseases and your sicknesses. Give me the opportunity. Tell me up front if I want to deal with it or not deal with it. Like,
Yeah.
seriously. But people are not being honest.
Let me tell you something, and I'm just to be real transparent and honest with you guys. I was talking to my friend, and I told her, "What medicines does he take every day?"
Girl.
And she was like, "Huh?" I said, "Watch and see." She said, "He take about 5 pills a day." Well, he probably has high blood pressure. He probably has high cholesterol. She's like, "Wow, I never thought about to look at that."
Right.
But now that you say, I pay attention. Like, he taking 5 pills a day.
Like, what's really going on?
Right.
We have the conversation before though.
Right.
Like,
When she's not married to him, it was this guy she was dating because he had made mention, well, let me eat something so I can take my medicine. And then that's when I asked her, I was like, did you ever ask him what he took? And she was like, girl, he got high blood pressure, high cholesterol. I said, yeah, that's usually, and then diabetes comes next.
And then too, with all the medicine, your stuff ain't gonna work. And then what? Then you're gonna have ED. Because I'm in home health, right? Baby,
Right.
these older men, when you go to their houses, they ask you for the blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
All those medications you mentioned, and their stuff don't work.
Mm-hmm.
And you will say, but Mr. So-and-so, you have a heart condition. The things I hear, y'all. Like, like, you'd rather die inside of a woman. He told me yes.
Wow.
I was like, Jesus.
These older men can't keep up. They're what?
The older men can't keep up, then they go dead due to all the medication. Exactly. That thing don't be working. Mr. Willie says, I love your show, but I have to go to the dollar store and get my bluebell ice cream.
Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Willie.
I mean, that's the reality of it. Their stuff don't work. I see it a lot every day. I see veterans sometimes missing toes, but baby, one thing they want is their blue pill.
Yep.
They want younger women because they know that older woman, a lot of stuff they play, they're not going to deal with them.
Yeah, that's
But
true.
this question that we have,
they will, but they're going to get them a young man. They'll play with him and go get them a young man, like Keisha said, with a strong back.
Yeah, there was a patient we had that got paid out, and he had this young caregiver. Baby, she took all his money.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and was gone. But he was like, "I'm still in love with her." I was like, "Sir, come now." Keisha said, "I met a dude that had the sugar, and he had a bag full of Tootsie Rolls with him at all times." Then he asked me to rub it. Okay, I'm confused. Oh, okay, never mind. Then he gonna ask me to rub it.
I went home. And I'm out. Keisha said, I'm out.
You so silly, Keisha. Oh my God.
But I have a friend who fell in love, married this guy, and found out he was sick. And now she's like,
well, did he know he was sick? Or he just see, that's a different thing.
I don't think he told her.
If
I
you
don't think he told her. And then she never went to his doctor's appointments with him, right? And then finally, when it got to the point, it's like he's so sick now that now she has to constantly take care of him. But hey,
I want somebody that's active. Personally, I want somebody to say, "Hey, you want to go hiking? Hey, you want to go work out? Hey, you want to do this?" Because I like to stay active, and if you can't do stuff with me, eventually it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like you like what you like, right?
Right. You like
So
what you like.
yeah,
Set
but
your boundaries. Set what you want. Set your parameters. Know what
yeah,
you will and will not tolerate.
but I don't think sometimes we are having those honest conversations in the beginning when it's necessary.
Oh
Why?
yeah.
Because we rush,
We
and
in
then
lust.
that's the thing. Love is intelligent, guys. Lust is not intelligent. Love is intelligent. Love is a choice. But I don't believe in love at first sight. I think that's bullshit. I mean, that's nonsense. There's no love at first. There's lust at first sight. Because what do you love? You like how the person looks, right? There's
I
many men out here that will see us and they will be like, come in your inbox. Oh my God, you're so beautiful. I want you to be my wife. Baby, when I start talking and you peel back the layers, you're gonna be like, she talk too much. Ooh, she think too much. You don't know me. So how the hell do you know you want to marry me? Like that is not flattering to me. That's stupidity.
One thing I had a friend of mine tell me, but when she dates a guy by the third date, one of those dates are going to be biking, hiking, or running, or going out to do an exercise. And she says, if one of those dates, if he keeps trying to avoid something like that, she says it's a no for me. It's a deal breaker.
Oh
Because she wants
wow.
somebody that's able to get out and, because that's what she likes to do. She likes to go do activities. And if, let's go hiking, let's go biking. And she says, first of all, if you don't want to go hiking, biking, running, or walking with me, that lets me know we're already not compatible.
Oh
Then it lets
wow.
me know what kind of health are you in, that you can't,
Yeah.
you can't go hiking. Because that's the true test. She said, because you go into the theater, you walk and you sit down. You go out to eat, you walk and you go sit down.
That's true.
You don't know how healthy a person really
That's
is.
so true.
That's true. Let me read some comments. 100 Black says, with what I experienced, many women within our group don't do much outside of common things. They do like the gym sometimes, but won't cycle a few miles to a grocery store. Look, let me tell you what, I ain't cycling to no dang grocery store. I'm be honest. I ain't gonna be able to do that. Keisha hit it as I was typing. I'm not gonna cycle to the grocery store. But what I will do though, I will go hiking.
Yeah.
I will. Keisha says, I have 3 words for the ladies: life insurance policy. One of my ex-husband because he developed the sugar. Hey, I'm just watching and waiting. Lord have mercy.
Keisha, you like watching a horse race. You're like, yeah,
Wow.
get your money.
Like says, well, with what I experienced, okay, I read that already. But I am going to know. I'm not cycling. I'm not.
Mm-hmm. I mean, but it's just like what you're into. Like, babe, let's go for a walk. Let's go walk around the block. Let's, and that for her, she is a person that's an outdoors person. So for her, that is actually a deal breaker. And I don't think it's a health thing. I just think this is what I enjoy doing. I want somebody that wants to do those things with me, But it is a good test to see somebody healthy. You don't have to cycle, Robbie. You can say, hey, let's go take a walk after dinner,
Yeah.
And if you're huffing and puffing, by the time before you get to the corner, you already know, okay, what's going on with you,
Or if he say, can we stop by my car so I can get my stroller? That's kind of like a deal breaker. He's riding while you walking next to him. You're like, this ain't gonna work.
I mean, because honestly, guys, a person's weight can change. You can meet a guy that's overweight or girl that's overweight and they decide to lose weight and that can change. Status can change.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can make more money. But the thing of it is, for me, is I need to see the hustle. I need to see you actually doing something.
Right.
Right. Like the guy, let's talk about the guy at what's at Wendy's. Okay. Like all I know about him is that he was a cashier at Wendy's. I don't know.
He could be in medical school.
He could be. I mean, in all honesty, I don't know that. I doubt it though, honey. But anyway,
you don't know.
I'm saying though, it could be. He could be working towards something, and that's the thing. Like when I met my ex, like back in the day, he was looking. He used to play football for KU, so the pros were looking at him, right? Mm-hmm. Then he had an injury, a knee injury. He had one in high school and then one in college, right? And instead of taking that and coaching, say, completely went into depression, never got over that, right?
Wow.
Yes, that's why he started the drinking. When I
Mhm.
met him, so the football. Then he had a great mind for business, but because he was rejected, the pros stopped looking at him. He stopped wanting to live, and then that's resulted in him drinking and doing other things. So we end up getting a divorce. So to me, potential can be tricky. And one of the things we need to look for besides potential is how do they handle rejection? How are they when they're angry? All these things matter. What is your relationship with your parents, right? And
Yeah.
even if it's a bad relationship, how do you handle it?
Right.
Yeah.
You harbor
Exactly.
forgiveness. Because that could mean if I do something, so you're gonna hate me forever.
Right.
Right.
But no, we like, oh my God, like he gonna play professional football one day, girl. But I never went into it with that mindset because again, um, it wasn't very romantic though. He was like, hey, I was about to go back to Africa. He's like, you want to get married? I said yes. It wasn't like balloons and all that stuff. It was very dry. But that's how we end up getting married. I need to read a few more comments. Oh God, Keisha. I met this dude that had bad knees, and he
Oh.
always smelled like Bengay. He enjoyed the company I gave him and paid a bunch of bills for me. See, I don't want that. Now, if you want to, cool, but I don't want to feel like I owe somebody, right? Like I'll cook you a meal, I guess.
Why would you feel like you owe something? If somebody does something nice to you, why would you feel like you owe
That's a trauma response, and I know that, right? I'm not talking about just doing something for you. Like if you were like pay my mortgage, for example.
something? Okay.
I don't act right, and then you're not gonna pay the mortgage. No, you're not gonna control me. Control your mammy, honey. You're not controlling me. I don't like that. But a lot of people do that. If you don't do something, no. That's why I'd rather do my own things. I'm not
But then, okay, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. If I'm paying your mortgage and I want to have sex with you, or I want to, whatever it is my payment, quote unquote, is, that's a give and take type of relationship, whatever established relationship y'all have. Why is the expectation of women, you do, and the man is not supposed to expect or want anything in return? Because in any relationship, it's a give and take,
exactly. That's why I just stay in my lane. Now, the thing of it is, if I'm in a relationship, right, and we're working towards something, that's totally different.
Okay.
Like, no, I'm talking about when you meet somebody and immediately they want to, how much is your mortgage? Girl, I'll be like, that's your business.
I want to pay your mortgage. I want to pay your bills.
Say what you really want. Okay, let's just be real.
Yeah.
So 100 Black says hiking, cycling to the store, kind of the same thing. Okay, I get what you're saying. Okay, let's see what Keisha's saying. If old boy working at Wendy's is in a medical school, he's coming with student loans. Robert, you did the right thing and walked away. Trust and believe. That was not going to happen. 100 Black says instant expectations, though. Where's the freedom and space to be? When I'm talking about these, I'm not talking about established relationships, guys. And maybe I should have been clear with that. I'm talking about you meeting, because a lot of people nowadays want to move quick. They want to move quick. No one's something that breaks.
Everybody wants the instantaneous relationship. Add
Right.
water. Add water. There you go.
Keisha said, I didn't give him nothing but a listening ear when he talked about the lady he was checking up with. We had a discussion. Girl, prior to any money exchanging hands. Jesus. Keisha saying, it says, saying I want to pay your mortgage is equivalent to saying I want to drink your bathwater. Go away, sir. I think people are in a hurry, honestly. I
Yeah.
think everybody's in a hurry. Nowadays, everything moves very quickly. And when you sometimes move at a slower pace, people don't like that. And that's fine too. Like we all are different, course in life, a different way. We do different things. And that's fine. They don't like But so guys, if you could go back in life, I'm not saying not choose your husband, because you made a very valid point the other day. I don't know if I could say what you said, Kim. Would you like to say what you said? Do you remember what you said, girl? You
Who,
said,
me?
yes.
Yes.
The text message you said.
I said if I had to go on just if I did, if I just had to go on potential, I was like, I don't know if I would, me and William would have been together because William was, like I said, he had just moved here. He was had a car that was well, I'm talking about potential, I'm talking about his worth. When I'm talking about potential, I'm not talking about because he was a hustler. William was all those great things, but I'm
Right.
talking about material things at that moment. He just didn't have material things in that moment. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
but he's
saying?
working towards
So if
something.
I had to look at material things that was going on in his life, like where he was at that point, I mean, he just got here, he was working at a pizza place. You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, dang, you're poor. you know.
Dang,
So,
dang.
but that's who he was at that point. But William is, you know, same
But
person he was,
also, you both were young, right?
Mhm.
very young.
And you had time.
Yeah,
He was hustling and he was doing everything,
taking
he
care of
was.
his son. He was doing what he was supposed to do.
Thank you. If he was 55 or 60, I mean, that would be a whole different story. Let's
It's a
just be honest.
different story.
Now, people say, oh, yeah,
No,
because, no,
no.
be honest.
And looking back, I wouldn't like, oh, I wouldn't have chosen William. I wouldn't have, because I would have, of course, going back in my life, I don't think there was anything that I would have done differently in the relationship, of how it went. I just don't think there was anything I would have done differently. I like where I am now. I like where we're going. So, but I get the girl's point of view. She is not naive anymore. And if we're
Yes.
talking about the chick that was talking, I completely understand. She has grown up and she loves herself now. And that's why I saw her. She takes value in who she is now. And maybe back then she didn't, you know?
Yeah, I think she didn't. And I think that also um, she probably has more healing as well. That's what
Yeah.
I because she has a lot of pricks. Like, she's prickly. I've been accused of being prickly, and I am, because I am working through some stuff as well. That's the thing. We continuously working through stuff. We better every day, right? Let me read this comment. I'll slip a white envelope with the mortgage money in your door or something, not telling you, sir, you can. Not telling you that I did it. This is why I am Oak. Name pronunciation. Yes, like that is cool. I will take it. It's not that I'm gonna turn it down. I will take it, but I just don't like people um I despise control. Let me say that. I'm being honest. I like, because I come from a culture where they try to, Kim, you know what I come from.
Yeah,
They try
exactly.
to control everything. So I'm always looking. I
Yeah.
always take my time. You will never rush me or be able to rush me, because I look and I change my mind at any time.
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie. You may be thinking, oh, she's all into me. Who told you that? Did I tell you that? A lot of times they'll tell you, I know you into me. Oh, am I? Am I? But you like, boy, I've been watching you.
Mm-mm.
I'm like,
Will a guy that you're dating, Rabia, may say some word or say something that's like, okay, that's control. Will you get that, like, that
honey,
discernment in that moment?
don't even have to say anything. I watch how you handle situations. And sometimes it's a fleeting thought. When I have a fleeting thought, that's when I watch.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. And it's not like I'll change my behavior. I won't change my behavior. I'll be the same. You wouldn't even know that I know. I want to bring it up. Because a lot of times I have to say, okay, is it my trauma speaking? Or is it reality? Is this how you really acting? That's why I prefer to be slow. Because I need to see if it's me or if it's you. And if it's you, baby, bye.
Mm.
I won't even hesitate. I mean, Andrew Black says, but I mean, Randolph says, but now you know, a cover blown, forget it. No, that's okay. Listen, you can go ahead. I'll give you my cash app. It's
Yeah.
some cool ass out here. What? Oh, ninjas out here.
Mm-hmm.
There are some great guys out here, and I
Mhm.
try to run them off. I probably do. I'm like, no, I don't want to be sponsored. Leave a comment on TikTok. But if that's cool. I mean, I could put, like I said, we could put our cash up in a Zelle up, no problem. But I would prefer to be able to do my own things. I would rather. But that's what I purposely did. Like when I got divorced, put myself in a position where I don't have to, like, be concerned about stuff like that. Now, is it harder as single parents? Yes, sometimes it is. But I think God has a grace for single parents. I really believe that, because it could be worse, but it's not. My kids are not short of anything. My mortgage is up to date. I'm not late, and I'm not taking money from any man. So, but anyway, I want to say something really silly, but let me not say it. Do you guys think that we need to have a part 2 of the show, or do you think this is it? Because I think playing the both videos was cool, but I really want to talk about sis in New York. Some more stuff about sis. But what do you guys think?
We could definitely do a part 2, because there are other women, just not them two, but you have other videos out there with different perspectives. So I think it'd be great.
There's a lady on TikTok that I follow, and she is bomb, but she curses a lot though. But I understand what she's saying about that. I think a lot of women we have father issues, of course, and the way we allow men to treat us because we want to be accepted, because those wounds haven't been healed. And I think we should talk about some stuff of that as well. That's for another show. Let me read one more comment before we wrap it up. Guys, I enjoyed the show, actually. Keisha says, Hannah Black, you be pitching woo in perspective. Okay. Look, he wants my cash app, okay? These that come onto the channel are good people. Tell Lolo I said hello. I don't know who Lolo is, but hey, Lolo. But anyway, guys, so final thoughts.
I think the next show should be reality versus potential, instead of potential versus reality, because we really didn't get around to the reality part of it. And I would like to talk about that part. So that's my final thoughts.
What about you, Felicia?
I agree with what Kim said. We didn't talk about the reality part, and we should. The potential part, I think we kind of got that covered. So yeah, I think the reality part would be something good to add. But the potential part is, and we said it all kind of collectively. It's an age thing when you think of potential. Like there's certain things at 20 that you won't accept at 30. There's certain things at 30 that you're not going to accept at 40, so on and so forth. So I think potential really is a subjective, of course, but it's subjective to where you are in life.
Yeah.
Agreed. So I agree. I guess my final thoughts is that we should continue this conversation, and then maybe we can have I guess because Eric is supposed to come on today. Maybe we can have Eric next week, or we can have Brian on next week.
Oh, that'd be great.
Guys, I just want to thank you guys for listening out there, and guys on TikTok, thank you for listening and for joining us. So next week we're going to talk about reality versus potential, so we can get into that topic a bit more. Anyway, see you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.